Straight to our top story at this hour. In fact, one terrorist has been killed in a fierce encounter which is taking place between the security forces and the terrorists in the Hajin area of Bandipora in North Kashmir. Another terrorist is believed to be holed up. The encounter has been underway since 5 in the morning. Security forces launched a coordinated joint search operation this morning after receiving specific information about the presence of terrorists in the area. In the joint operation by Army, CRPF and Jammu and Kashmir Police, terrorists opened fire at the security forces, triggering this gun battle. These, in fact, are deferred visuals that are coming in from the encounter site. We, of course, have deferred them for an indefinite time to ensure that the operation is not affected at all. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Shuja ul Haq, who is joining me for more on this story. Shuja, bring us up to speed with the latest. One terrorist has been killed. Which group or tanzeem do the security forces believe that they belong to?
Well, Ankit, those identification details are yet to come out. But what I can tell you is that at around 4 in the morning is when the security forces got the information about presence of these militants in this area of Hajin. It falls in the Bandipora district of Kashmir, and they quickly later cordon searches were conducted. Militants fired upon the police and the army, and that's how this encounter began. Now, one militant is confirmed killed in this encounter, while as there was suspicion of another one still holding in the area. But even during the encounter, there are reports of clashes that started between the locals and the security forces on the ground. So even as we speak, the area remains very tense. Let's remember this is the same place where just a couple of days back, a similar operation was mounted in which one militant was injured, and he had later on succumbed to his injuries. Though they had managed to escape from the spot, but later on his body was found. Security forces say that there is definite presence of militants in these areas of Bandipora, and that's why they have also intensified their activities.
Shuja, also security forces have, in encounters like this, have always experienced a lot of trouble with the locals coming out and stone pelting and, that hampering the security forces operation. This area is specifically known for this sort of support to the terrorists. Any word about how they are controlling the mob?
Well, that's right, Ankit. It has been a huge cause of concern and worry for the security agencies and the forces working on the ground to control the people during the encounters, because we've seen that people do come out, locals do come out, particularly when there is suspicion of a local militant being trapped. They start clashing with the security forces, within giving time to the militants to escape from the spot. This has been a huge cause of concern and worry, and time and again the forces have been saying that they are appealing to the people not to do this, because there is a grave danger of getting caught in the crossfire, and also reactionary action, so to speak, from the forces posted on the ground.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details, in fact, and we'll keep coming back to you for more on this story. In fact, this encounter now raging on, and as we speak, one terrorist has been killed, another is now injured, as the security forces are now saying that they have cornered, in fact, the terrorist, and very soon they would be able to, in fact, get this man as well. Now, let's very quickly go across to this breaking news that is coming in. Well, ceasefire violation at the line of control in the Poonch and the Maindhar sector of Poonch district. Sources have told India Today that heavy shelling in Balakot and Mankot areas of Maindhar as well. Shelling is also reported from Kari in Karmara and Jalas area of Poonch in Jammu. No loss of life so far. Soldiers from the Indian side are also responding effectively. So Pakistan continues with its ceasefire violations, and what we see right now, is another attempt by the Pakistanis to just somehow try and in fact effectively facilitate the infiltration of terrorists onto the Indian side. Shuja continues to be with us. Shuja, on one hand, there is this battle that is going on between the security forces and the terrorists inside our own territory. On the other, at the line of control, Pakistan continues to provoke.
Well, absolutely right. In fact, Ankit, the line of control between India and Pakistan has been tense over past at least 1 month now. There have been several, ceasefire violations that have happened in areas of Jammu, on that side of Pir Panchal. And in fact, some of the incidents of ceasefire violation have happened on this Kashmir side of Pir Panchal as well. We've of late seen how ceasefire has been violated in areas like Uri, which hadn't seen any such violations in last 15 years. In fact, what we have also been told is that in certain areas, the artillery is being exchanged between the two sides, which is a grave issue. In last 15-17 years, never was the heavy artillery being exchanged. Even today, like we were pointing out, in Poonch, we are hearing fresh ceasefire violations happening, though the administration yesterday in itself had said that schools along the line of control will remain, shut down and activity will be minimized.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details. In fact, Shuja, we'll keep coming back to you for more. All right, the CBI is all set to seek extension of Karti Chidambaram's custody, which ends today afternoon. In a dramatic development in the INX media case, former Finance Minister P Chidambaram's son, Karti Chidambaram, was arrested by the CBI from Chennai airport on his return from abroad. Later on Wednesday evening, Karti was remanded to 1-day CBI custody by a Delhi court. Today, a regular CBI court will hear the demand for Karti's custody extension. The Congress has meanwhile rallied behind the Chidambarams, accusing the Modi government of vendetta politics. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has hit back at the Congress, saying his government had no role in the arrest. Meanwhile, the Congress in Tamil Nadu is scheduled to hold protest against the arrest. Here is a report on the dramatic developments so far.
What do you have to say, sir? So what do you have to say?
Please stay.
Karti Chidambaram, fuming and defiant, accusing the CBI of sheer political vendetta by arresting him. Inside Delhi's Patiala House Court, Karti denied CBI's charge of non-cooperation, rebutting every charge, pointing at the 22-hour grilling and the fact that he took permission from court each time he travelled abroad, saying that he wished he had fled instead. In a dramatic twist of events, CBI took Chidambaram Jr. into custody in the 2007 INX media bribery case, moments after he landed at the Chennai airport after a trip to UK. Karti, unaware of CBI's plan, had been tweeting pictures of his London trip just a day ago. In court, Karti has been accused of receiving over 6 crore rupees as kickback from INX Media in 2007. In return for getting the Peter and Indrani Mukerjea owned firm a government nod to get rupees 305 crore in overseas funds, allegedly using his father P Chidambaram's influence, who was then finance minister.
This is explosive. Now, the CBI stunning charges that Indrani Mukerjea actually named even P Chidambaram, the former finance minister. Peter and Indrani Mukerjea met Chidambaram in his office. This is the statement given by Indrani, the CBI claims. P Chidambaram, the then finance minister, asked the Mukerjeas, the both of them, to help Karti's businesses. Now, this is what Indrani Mukerjea's given in a statement under Section 164. Now, the former finance minister asked the Mukerjeas to make foreign remittances, which in aid will help Karti Chidambaram. Now, the Mukerjeas met Karti in a hotel. It's given the name of the hotel at the Hyatt Hotel.
He was allowed to travel twice under court orders and returned each time. He is therefore, in a lighter vein, not a Hindustan leaver, L-E-A-V-E-R, but a returner.
The arrest took place when Chidambaram Sr. was in London and soon rushed back following Karti's mother Nalini.
Ma'am, what is the next plan of action? Ma'am, what is the next plan of action? Ma'am, why do you think he was arrested today, ma'am? What is the next plan of action? Ma'am, why do you think he was arrested today, ma'am? On air or no on air? Ma'am, what is the next plan of action? The CBI caught him off guard. He just landed from UK. Ma'am, what is the plan now, ma'am? You're going off to Delhi now. What's the plan now, ma'am? What? Ma'am, what do you have to say, ma'am? Smile.
Congress President Rahul Gandhi, who has been attacking Modi government over alleged scams too, chose to evade questions.
Rahul ji, will you not defend Chidambaram?
A furious political fight broke out between Congress and BJP as the opposition termed Karti's arrest a witch hunt.
When such issues are raised, what is important is that the nature of evidence available against the offender must speak for itself and not the alibi of vendetta.
Political persecution of Shri P Chidambaram, former finance minister, and his son by a puppet CBI acting to serve the agenda of its political masters is nothing but a cog in this wheel.
What we are hearing is that despite CBI asking for a 15-day of custody, the court gave only 1-day custody. Tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., that is at around in the mid-afternoon, Karti Chidambaram will once again be produced in this Patiala House Court. His father, P Chidambaram, the former finance minister, has already started his journey all the way back from London to India, and his mother, that is Nalini Chidambaram, a leading advocate of the country, was also present at this time when Karti Chidambaram was brought over here in the Patiala House Court today in the late evening. This is Supriya Bhardwaj for India Today in Delhi.
Well, all eyes are on the former finance minister, P Chidambaram, who cancelled his scheduled debate at the Oxford University in United Kingdom after his son's arrest. Chidambaram cancelled his engagements and is returning to Delhi after arriving at the Heathrow airport on Wednesday morning. A damaging statement given by jailed Indrani Mukerjea to the Enforcement Directorate has put the senior Chidambaram in dock as well. Indrani has told the Enforcement Directorate she and her husband met Chidambaram in his office and they were asked to help the business of Karti and to make foreign remittances. Enforcement Directorate sources have also told India Today with Indrani's statement they hope to get senior Chidambaram as well. Remember, last week Chidambaram approached the Supreme Court seeking protection of his fundamental rights and claimed that the probe agencies are hounding his family. Let me quickly get across to my colleague Munish Pandey, who is joining me for more on this story. Munish, there are two aspects to this entire case right now. What the CBI is selectively leaking to the media, and on the other hand, what they are arguing inside the court. Is it now, once again, the question that are being raised whether the arrest was necessary? Will the CBI be able to justify the need for arrest in the court today when they seek custody extension of Karti Chidambaram?
Yeah, well, Ankit, the CBI has been very clear, and yesterday also we broke this story that the cause of sudden arrest was that CBI came to know that during his foreign visit, Karti Chidambaram is tampering the evidence. There are some secret notes by the finance ministry, then finance ministry, and that he's tampering while his visit to abroad. Apart from that, there are allegations that he's not cooperating. He is giving false statement to the CBI, but the sudden cause was that he was tampering with the evidence. Now he was arrested, and CBI claims that it's an ongoing investigation. So when they thought that there is now need of his custodial interrogation, he has been arrested. But of course, this question was even raised by us during the press briefing by the CBI, but CBI claims that this is an ongoing investigation and that is why he has been arrested. But of course, now there are several questions because even Congress is saying it's a political vendetta. But remember, this case was lodged in 2017. There are several allegations, and CBI and ED, both agencies have documentary evidence against Karti Chidambaram and other accused in this case. There was a confessional statement which was given by Indrani Mukerjea. So CBI claims that they have a good case here. They will present before the court. As of now, he is being interrogated by the CBI, and once again, the sources in the CBI are claiming that he is not cooperating in the interrogation. He is not cooperating with the investigation. But now we have to wait that the next remand copy of CBI is what will they say in the next remand copy.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this story. Munish, let's now just straight away go to our burning question that we are asking on India Today. Son in custody, spotlight on P Chidambaram. Is the finance minister, former finance minister, in trouble as well? Did the former finance minister instruct Mukerjeas to help Karti's businesses? And did Chidambaram help his son in the INX media scam? Is it war against corruption as the government has failed to retain other big ticket defaulters, or is it just vendetta politics? Quickly getting across to my guest on the show today. In fact, Shantanu Sen, former joint director of the CBI, Mohammad Khan, spokesperson of the Congress, Gopal Agarwal, spokesperson of the BJP, also joins us on the broadcast. Let me start with you, Mohammad Khan. It's a clear-cut case, as the CBI and the BJP calls it. They say that Karti Chidambaram, in fact, has been arrested because of the FIPB clearance to INX Media. He used his father's influence, got kickbacks in this entire process, and now he's trying to tamper with the evidence when he travels abroad. What's the problem? Why is the Congress crying foul? Shouldn't the law take its own course, or just because it's a Congress minister's son, you are trying to give it a political color?
Well, actually, Ankit, I believe the events of the last 24 hours are a vindication of the fact that we have the BJP on the back foot. We have seen a very panicked BJP over the last 2 weeks after the Nirav Modi scandal. And you've seen their spokespersons on channels such as yours, where they come out, and the best defense they can offer is that Congress ki galti thi, humne to 4 saal se kuch nahi kiya. Now, when this was picking up traction, when the questions were becoming harder, when someone like Amit Shah was being embarrassed by farmers asking him questions to his face on his rally in Karnataka, they had to do something. And this is what they did. Look at the timing. I'll come to the law, but let us look at the timing. Mr. Chidambaram leaves for Oxford.
No, we'll talk about the timing. Mohammad Khan, we'll talk about the timing. First answer. Yeah. These are serious charges. The charges which have been put against him are serious enough. As the CBI feels, there is a statement which has been given to the Enforcement Directorate that is admissible as an evidence in the court of law. If the CBI thinks that this merits arrest, then let the law take its own course. Go argue in the court against the arrest and get a bail for him.
Ankit, I see where you're coming from. You're saying that if the case is indeed possessed of merits, then why not let it play out? Let me tell you something. The Congress has the utmost faith in our judiciary. It has been vindicated in the past. I'm sure that it will be validated this time as well. Here is the surprising thing, Ankit. You look at the document. Your colleague was saying that there is evidence that he's trying to tamper with evidence. There is evidence that he's trying to, influence witnesses, etc. But if they had all of this evidence, Ankit, why did they yesterday, when they approached the court to demand custody for 18 days, why did they present a 2-page document? The document only contains 3 statements. That he is a flight risk, he is not cooperating with the investigation, and he is going to tamper with the existing evidences. Now, in criminal law, it doesn't matter what you believe. It only matters what you can prove.
That's right.
Unfortunately, this is why the judge gave a 1-day custody.
That's a very important point that you're making. That's a very important point that you're making. And let me get Gopal Agarwal. Let me get Gopal Agarwal.
Very happy.
Let me get Gopal Agarwal on this. Gopal Agarwal, how do you defend the charge of diversionary tactic that is being leveled on your government? The Congress has got you in the corner as far as the Rafale deal is concerned. Nirav Modi, this is embarrassing for the BJP. So you arrest Karti Chidambaram as soon as he arrives at the arrival lounge of the airport. You arrest him and try and divert attention from your own failures in cracking against other willful defaulters, just to show that to the Congress party, if you go at us, we will hit back. In this way, when they cry political vendetta, it seems to have some merit, isn't it?
No, the Karti Chidambaram is not the isolated cases. There are several cases which pertain to bank frauds and NPAs. Those are different issue, and this Karti Chidambaram is a corruption issue, and corruption is done at the time when the people were, his father was in power, and new evidence under the 164 has come under in light, which the CBI has said that there is an ample evidence where new evidence has arrived where we need arrest. Second thing is, there is a letter from the statement from
Mr. Agarwal, but then the obvious question, Mr. Agarwal, but then the obvious question would be, if the CBI has ample evidence, if the CBI, Mr. Agarwal, you've got to also listen to the question. You just can't go on. You can't go on a one-way tirade. The question, sir, then would be, the CBI has ample evidence. They should have, in fact, produced a charge sheet by now. If the CBI has ample evidence against Karti Chidambaram, as far as the court proceedings are concerned, he has cooperated. He has gone out of the country on the order of the courts as well, has come back on the time designated. If the CBI has ample evidence, a case is going on, argue the case and get this man behind bars. The arrest and the timing of it is being questioned.
No, but I tell you that you are telling that he cooperated. Just merely appearing before CBI is not cooperation. That doesn't prove that he is cooperating. CBI is saying that he is not answering the question. Sir, but he is confronting the evidences and not accepting them and denying them without any substance.
Okay.
The second thing is, let me finish. He was asked to appear on 2nd February. His lawyer refused. There is a letter from his lawyer taking recourse to the legal jugglery that my client cannot appear before the CBI for interrogation. So and then when do you arrest? When the fugitive is run away from the country, then you will say that you allowed the Karti Chidambaram to run away.
He has come back. You could not arrest people. You could not arrest people from the departure lounge, but you have arrested somebody from the arrival lounge. It shows that he has come back. But Gopal Agarwal, the question also is on part of cooperation. This under the jurisprudence of the IPC, of the Indian Code, it is also accepted by the Supreme Court that the right to remain silent is also a right for the accused. That is under Section 20. So I will, of course, will argue more on the legal part of it. I have to take a quick break at this point of time. I will then go to Shantanu Sen, former Joint Director CBI, and we'll try and understand the merits. We'll try and understand the merits of this arrest. On television studios, spokesperson, anchor, or anybody else, we are not here to pronounce anybody guilty or not guilty. The questioning of the timing is what is being debated, and was the arrest necessary? We'll try and get a more persuasive action. The arrest of Karti Chidambaram, son of former Finance Minister P Chidambaram. And let me very quickly in the debate bring in Shantanu Sen, former Joint Director of the CBI. Mr. Sen, a noted lawyer, Prashant Bhushan, had said that there was no justification to arrest Karti Chidambaram without a charge sheet, and also the fact that there is no danger of Karti fleeing the country. How does the CBI justify this arrest? Because now it has taken a political turn where the Congress says that there was no need. He has been cooperating. Look at the court details, and he went out of the country on court's orders and has always come back. If there were fresh evidence, CBI could have summoned him.
No, the questions raised are legitimate, but CBI has a proper answer, I'm sure. The answer would be, first of all, this crime occurred in 2008. It remained undetected. CBI sources could not find that a crime had occurred, and it was Subramaniam Swamy who put up the matter in the Supreme Court. Ultimately, the case was registered. So the investigation was considerably delayed. And collecting evidence in a matter where the crime has occurred years ago is a difficult task. Well, CBI went about the task, and slowly CBI found evidence, and this evidence is of recent origin.
Okay.
You will have noticed that his CA has been arrested recently and is in 14 days custody. Very important documents have been found from the CA which links Mr. Karti Chidambaram to the case. Thereafter, Peter Mukherjee and Indrani Mukerjea have been taken in custody by the CBI after obtaining permission from the competent court and interrogated. And only thereafter, their statements have been recorded under 164 CRPC.
Right.
And they have made an important disclosure which is corroborated by the documents recovered and seized from the CA, who is in 14 days custody. Obviously, charges against the CA for keeping these documents and being a participant in whatever crime occurred has been clearly brought out.
Sir, but the Congress,
therefore,
I think
the timing is
the Congress and the
not
lawyers
at all
of
inappropriate.
Karti Chidambaram also raise a question.
No, forget about the Congress and the lawyers.
Let me. Why I'm putting that out to you, sir, is that because they also raise a question about the statements given by Peter Mukherjee and Indrani Mukerjea. They say they have been, they are accused in a murder case. They have been behind bars for the last year and a half. There are two things. There is admissibility of the evidence and, of course, then the reliability of the evidence. Can the court of law only, in fact, go ahead and an investigating agency go ahead?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There is some.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. There is some confusion. Admissibility and reliability is for trial. This case has not gone to trial yet.
Okay.
These are two separate things. Prima facie, we are talking about prima facie, not admissibility and reliability at this stage. Admissibility and reliability is irrelevant. Prima facie, there is the evidence of the chartered accountant and there is an evidence of Indrani Mukerjea, which makes out, that there is some material to sustain the criminality. And the criminality goes up to the FIPB.
Absolutely.
And criminality goes right up to the Ministry of Finance and people in the Ministry of Finance.
Right. Sir,
so
let me...
his confrontation...
I request you to stay on with me because I also have a question to you
with the
as far as the FIPB is
necessary.
Concerned. I want to come back to that question. Mohammad Khan, you want to respond to what Shantanu Sen, the Joint Director of the CBI former Joint Director of the CBI was saying. In May last year, Mohammad Khan, the CBI had conducted raids at the Chennai house of the Chidambaram, his son as well. The raids and the arrest now relates to the clearance of the INX media. Karti allegedly had facilitated. It is here where the position for the Congress becomes difficult, because it's not, as you are saying, suddenly something has been pulled out of thin air, a rabbit has been pulled out of the magician's hat. But it is an ongoing investigation, and the investigating agency feels that they want to interrogate him, they want to get him confronted with what new evidence that they have got. It is their right to get him arrested.
Absolutely. Look, nobody has a problem with a fair and a transparent investigation, but that is not what is happening here. I want to answer what Mr. Sen was saying. He is someone who has had a very distinguished career, and he raises some very good points. So I feel that those must be addressed. Sir, under section 164, and I'm sure you will tell me, when a testimony is recorded under 164 CRPC, isn't it meant to be used only as corroborative evidence, not as substantive evidence? That means it by itself cannot be used to convict or arrest someone. Number two, sir, if indeed the records obtained from the chartered accountant were so very damning, then yesterday when they had their opportunity before the judge, why did they not present that evidence as the substantive evidence? Why did they present the statements? Number two, sir, I'm sure you will educate me on the provisions of section 41 CRPC, which lay down the guidelines for arrest. Arrest is a matter of last resort. Our courts have repeatedly held, if a person is not cooperating, if a person is a flight risk, if a person is destroying evidence, if a person is intimidating witnesses, they have laid down a plethora of safeguards.
Right.
When those are discharged, then you arrest a person. The fact that this did not happen yesterday and they were not able to satisfy the court speaks volumes about the police.
Okay.
Finally,
let me get Shantanu
last
Sen
week,
to respond to
Mr. This is very important. This is very important. Again, I just want to make this one point.
Quickly.
Mr. Chidambaram anticipated this. He went to the Supreme Court. He filed all the evidence that had been collected from his residence before the Supreme Court and said, look, this is what they have. I want you to monitor the investigation because I feel something like this is going to happen.
Right.
His fears were proven correct as he flew out for London, sir.
Mr.
So therefore, this is a bit of a witch hunt. I'm sure you will agree.
And you were also mentioning the FIPB unit of the Finance Ministry, but it's very astonishing that there have been 6 directors of the FIPB under whom this entire a period of alleged fraud goes on. None of them have been questioned. None of them have been summoned by the CBI. It directly then seems that only the top boss, the Finance Minister and his son, seems to be targeted, sir. Mr. Sen?
Yes.
Sir, I would just want...
Is this question to me?
Yeah, that was a question to you, sir. And on what Mohammed
Hello.
Khan... Yes, on what Mohammed Khan had described about no need for this arrest because of the grounds
these are very good arguments. These are very good arguments for the court. These are very good arguments before the court, and he's welcome to raise them before the court, which will now extend or refuse bail. No, but I am speaking on behalf of the investigation.
Please go ahead, sir.
Investigation distinguishes, as I have already said, between what is reliable and what is admissible. Investigation goes by prima facie matter, and prima facie is sometimes construed by the defense as not reliable. Well, that is their choice. But the investigating officer has a role to play. And these prima facie which has come into CBI's hands, in my view, is enough to arrest.
Right. So very quickly, Mr. Sen, I would also like your response. I would also like your response on what ED has alleged.
But the arrest is justified.
The FIPB unit of the Finance Ministry had not only granted illegal approval, but also misinformed the investigations wing of the Income Tax Department. The question obvious would be then, why aren't people, those who were in charge of the FIPB unit, including a former RBI governor of India, why have they not been either summoned or questioned, and only the Finance Minister and his son being asked these questions? Does it not imply somewhere some sort of a bias in the investigation?
No, your question is absolutely on the pin. Everybody in the Finance Ministry who has participated in the illegality is suspect. Everyone should be questioned and, if possible, if necessary, apprehended and prosecuted.
Right.
Unless it is proved that Mr. Chidambaram overrode them. They gave a correct advice and Chidambaram overrode them and took a decision, then the guilt will be pinned on Mr. Chidambaram.
Absolutely.
But if others participated, you recall the Aircel-Maxell case,
right,
where the court held that the junior officers wrote wrong notes and CBI, by failing to prosecute them, lost the case.
Okay.
Case was thrown out there against Maran and Kanimuzzi.
Right.
If you read that order, you'll find that the role of the junior officers
and that is where I want to bring in Gopal Agarwal. Gopal Agarwal, all this noise that you make around corruption and P Chidambaram being corrupt and he helping his son to get illegal gratification in terms of kickbacks and so forth, all that is great for television debate. Ultimately, all this has to be proved in the court of law. We saw how the agencies, despite saying we have a watertight case in the 2G and so forth, absolutely failed in that 2G case. Now, my question to you on the similar line is that it seems that selectively people are being questioned, selectively people are being asked these answers, selectively people are being arrested. Ultimately, when Subramaniam Swamy says that P Chidambaram is going to be next, you clearly put out an agenda in front of the country that you are only pursuing this politically. This is going to be embarrassing, at least perception-wise, for the BJP, isn't it, sir?
No, I would like to tell you, finally the criminality or not will be decided by the court of law. this at the investigation point of time, we will only try to, the investigation agency will try to collaborate and collect evidences. And if there is an evidence, that fresh evidence has arisen, and which is a corroborative evidence which has proof from the arrest of the chartered accountant, then there is every case that the investigation agency will take it further, and whatever is needed for investigation is due. But ultimately,
I hope that you also extend this advice to your colleague,
like media,
and a party member, Subramanian Swamy, who seems to be on a complete tirade of giving certificates of corruption and not corruption, and corrupt and not corrupt to certain leaders. Ultimately, the ball is in the court. They will decide as far as all these evidences of the investigating agencies is concerned. It can't be decided in the television studios. It can't be decided by me, you, Mohammad Khan or Shantanu Sen here sitting in the studio. What we would like our viewers to understand is that there is a case of corruption that has been registered. Now there's an ongoing investigation, and the only hope is that the investigating agency is fair in their investigation and will produce a watertight case, unlike what we have seen in the past. There is a lot of noise and then it comes out to be nothing. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me early morning on this burning question debate. We'll keep coming back to all of you for your expertise on this, as this is one of the top stories that we'll be tracking.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.